Baltimore Ravens play the Giants in just a couple of days, and they already had no excuses. But after this latest update from Brian Daboll, they have less than zero excuses to not only win this game, but blow the Giants out. We're going to let you know exactly what it is, and we got a lot more to talk about, too. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you do not miss a single video, single update, any single thing going on with our Baltimore Ravens. And also leave a like on the video because it'd be helping out the channel a whole lot. Let's get straight into it. So, before going into this game, when the schedule first came out, we were like, all right, Ravens playing the Giants later on in the season. All right, cool. We're going to go against Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones got cut. So then we were like, okay, we're going to go against Drew Lock. Drew Lock is in the walking boot. So we're like, okay, who we going up against? Let's read the report from Adam Schefter. It says, Giants head coach Brian Daboll told reporters that quarterback Drew Lock is in a walking boot due to a heel injury, and Tommy DeVito is now expected to start Sunday versus the Ravens. So, Ravens, don't play with us, man. Y'all don't play with us, man. I'm saying, do not play with us, man. Y'all there were already no excuses. Like, even if Daniel Jones was playing, even if Drew Lock was playing. But Daniel Jones, obviously, he over there in Minnesota as a backup. And Drew Lock is hurt. You're going against DeVito. But then on top of that, Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy. He been put on injury reserve a couple of weeks ago, but he will not be in this game either. Ravens, and I know Malik Davis, he was dealing with some injury. We'll see how he practices this week. If he practices this week, I think he will practice this week. But y'all, come on, man. Don't play, man. Don't play, man. Ravens have to. This is a game that you could always use them confidence-boosting games on a schedule. Games where it's an opponent that you look at and you're like, oh, man, they are really, really bad team in really, really bad shape. We're not the best team in the world. There were some weeks where we played like it, and other weeks where we just certainly didn't. But this is a chance to get the morale in the locker room up a lot. This is a chance to just really get guys believing in themselves that much more down the stretch and showing guys that they are capable of doing this, that, and the third. This game right here, some people may look at it, oh, it's just the Giants, it's an NFC game. No, this is a big game for the Baltimore Ravens. We've seen it in years past where the Baltimore Ravens have went into a lot of these games like this against a way inferior opponent, and they've lost. They come out flat. And they let the opponent hang around for just long enough to where the opponent, they just got to make one or two plays at the very end, and boom, Ravens end up losing. Now, while I do not expect that to happen in this game, Ravens got to be extra careful. Why? Because you're going up against it. This same thing that happened against the Browns back when we played them, however long ago it was. But the Giants are in a similar situation because they have nothing to lose. They're not playing for anything at all, except a draft pick. They're not trying to get in playoff contention. They may be trying to play spoiler, but they probably you know what, let's just get through the season. So they're going to be whatever about this. So they'll be willing to try more stuff. They'll be willing to take more risk, exactly like the Cleveland Browns when we played them. Because remember, that's right after Deshaun Watson got hurt. Deshaun Watson got hurt, and they changed the offensive coordinator. Usually Kevin Stefanski called the plays, but they let offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey call the plays in that Browns game. So it was like the Browns, again, they had nothing to lose at that point. And they were like, all right, whatever. Let's just go play spoiler. So you know the Giants, they going to be looking to do a lot of the same stuff. Ravens, don't play with us, man. Y'all, every reason for it. You have no reason to not win this game, but also not win in blowout fashion. You got no reason why you should not do that. None. This game not only needs to be a win. Obviously, the win is the most important thing, but this game, it better not even be close. Now, speaking of close, we know Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, they have to have a good relationship in order for that QB running back combination to work, especially how well it's worked, too. And despite Derrick Henry, really over these past couple of games, not really going as crazy as we had gotten used to him going, he still is one of the leading rushers in the NFL, and he's still been doing this thing. We just got to get used to him getting back in the end zone because I feel like it's been a while. But anyway, Lamar Jackson, as we know, I say he's the best player in the league, the best quarterback in the league, best player in the world. And Derrick Henry, he's one of the best running backs in the league. Him and Saquon Barkley, they were going back and forth, but after that Eagles-Ravens game, Saquon Barkley, he got it for now. And then anyway, Madden, they feel the same. about Lamar Jackson. They feel the same about Derrick Henry because both of these guys, they have made it to the 99 club in Madden. And that made me really happy for both of them. I love that, man. They get the gold cleats. Hopefully they get a chain or something too. But it's nice to know that Madden has finally recognized both of them as some of the best of the best. Now, I have not played Madden in months, only because we get so caught up with this, and even though we be playing other video games and stuff too, but I haven't played Madden in months. I'm still on my 10-hour EA Sports on a trial, so I got plenty of time left on it, so I haven't even had to buy Madden. So by the time I get to playing Madden, it's probably going to end up being for free on Xbox or whatever. But anyway, when y'all play Madden, y'all make sure y'all update it so you can see our guys with them 99s. Now, somebody who I used to complain every single year about in Madden why he wasn't a 99 was Justin Tucker. It would be year after year after year. Justin Tucker continued to show why he was the best kicker in the league, most accurate kicker in the league. He had one of the biggest boots in the league, but Madden just simply would not put him at a 99. They wouldn't even put him at a 90 overall. He'd usually be like a 87 overall, something crazy like that. And I would wonder why, Madden, but maybe they knew what was on the way and they were just trying to prepare us. Now, I'm not sure what his overall is right now. One of y'all could please let me know in the comment section what Madden has dropped him to. But Justin Tucker, he knows that he deserves to be dropped as far as his overall in Madden. He deserves to just he's fallen off a lot because he's been missing a lot. But what has Justin Tucker been doing, and how has he been addressing this issue of the kicks? Well, it was said that, and this from Cordell Woodland, the Ravens were practicing indoors today because of the rain. But guess where JT was? Guess where Justin Tucker was? He said, but that isn't stopping Justin Tucker, who's outside kicking field goals as we speak. So JT said, man, I've been at the facility all weekend. You saw how his eyes were looking in that interview that Karita Parks posted yesterday. His eyes were looking crazy. He was looking wild, man. But it seems like he's just really doing everything in his power to try to get it right. And that's important. That's important. Like, yeah, we all been dogging Justin Tucker for the past couple of weeks and really all season because he's been missing a lot. He has been missing a whole lot. But as we know, Justin Tucker ain't going nowhere, obviously. So what's the next best solution? Fix it. And fix it fast. So now we reach my favorite part of these videos where we get to feature your questions. If you would like to take part in it, you can send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com. For the Team Keep It Clean patrons, you can send a DM directly on Patreon. And if you would like to join it, you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids. And if you want to send it in a different type of way, you can send a letter with your question to our P.O. Box. The address is listed down below in the description. Woo! Felt good to get through that and still have my breath. Team Keep It Clean, I love y'all. Let's get straight into it. First question came from my guy, Deven, who is a Team Keep It Clean patron, so I appreciate it, Deven. He said, I don't know why, but I feel bad for our opponents these last 4 games. I think Lamar's mama cussing him out is going to ignite the flame we need for him to get us over the hump for a deep playoff push. Everybody should take the over on Lamar rushing this weekend. Yeah, now, I agree with everything you said, minus the betting part, because I don't mess with that, but the other part that I don't agree with is that you feel bad for the opponent. Oh, no, I ain't about to feel bad for nobody. I love you. I got homies that's fans of all the teams that we getting ready to go up against, and it's all love for them, but no, I ain't going to feel bad at all, and Lamar ain't going to feel bad either. Next question came from my guy Zlon. He said, hey, Ingraven, I was wondering, do you think we should start getting worried about the Ravens not making the playoffs? No, I don't think so. This game right here, though, like, again, Ravens, don't mess around with us. Anyway, he said, because the Ravens need to win at least half of these next 4 games, and the Ravens are going against the Steelers and the Texans. Do you think there's a possibility that we don't make the playoffs? Anything's possible till it ain't possible no more, but Ravens are going to make the playoffs. I don't have a doubt in my mind that the Baltimore Ravens will make the playoffs. I don't have a doubt about them making the playoffs this year at all. And I get it. The Ravens, they going against, the Giants, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Texans. A lot of times Ravens go against themselves as well. So Ravens have had this bye week to get their heads cleared out from all the mess that was clouding them. They've had this opportunity to really reflect, take a step away from football, and then come back, get refreshed as far as all the players. I know Harbaugh said the coaches were staying in the building, but they've had the week off, so now it's like, all right, season don't end till February. Season don't end until February 9th when that clock hits 0 and Ravens are holding up that Lombardi trophy. Next question came from my guy Michael. He said, "Ain't taking me clean. How's everybody doing?" Well, I hope many blessings to you and your family. And Graven, I want to ask you, I've been watching for a long time, and I remember you had the interview with EDC's wife. My question is, and appreciate you, and shout out to Lacey, by the way. He said, my question is, do you think they watch and agree quietly as to what you're saying? Because how you say it means more than what you say. If you are satisfied with how the organization is running since Lamar came in. Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't think they don't hear me, but they certainly hear y'all. These questions, stuff like this, the questions that y'all be asking, there's been so many times and so many occurrences where y'all will say something and y'all will bring something to attention. And I'll be like, oh man, where did that come from? And then the Baltimore Ravens, they'll implement whatever it is that y'all said. And I'll be like, hey, team, keep it clean. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. So I'm just the middleman, but it's really y'all's message who they hear. Next question came from my guy Deven the Raven. He said, it's been a few weeks, but I hope you and the family are doing well. Shout out to Team Keep It Clean. Appreciate that. But let me get straight to it because I'm kind of long-winded. It's the passion in me. Hey, I get it. It's all good. I'm the same way. He said, okay, I know you and we love John Harbaugh and Justin Tucker till death and respect them to the highest degree, and we know Bisciotti is not going to let any of them go mid-season. Nor am I calling for any of them to be fired mid-season. But a few weeks back, I wrote you and I said that Harbaugh and Tucker were the problems, and now I think it thrice. Harbaugh is a great leader of men. He's just not a great football mind, in my opinion. He doesn't do well against other Super Bowl winning coaches that are late game thinkers and have playoff caliber defense. Ooh. So Mike Tomlin, well, that's that. There's Andy Reid. Yeah, that's that. But who else? Who else? But anyway, continuing. He said, I know that's hard for any team, but just like it's required to get that caliber out of Lamar, it's also necessary to get that out of Harbaugh. And unlike Lamar, I think he's reached his ceiling. Tomlinson and Andy Reid read him like a book every year, and they do it with less talent. He's a special teams guru, and we're near last in the league at special teams. Now, that part right there where you said that you feel like Harbaugh has reached his ceiling. He said, a few weeks ago, I said that he's not aggressive enough, and you responded mentioning him going forward on all those fourth downs and acquiring Deontay with a win-now mindset. But I meant not aggressive, meaning he doesn't make the hard decisions well. Okay. That's different. Would that really be aggressive, though, if he's not making the tough decisions? I think that would be more so just afraid to make the tough decisions. But anyway, or maybe that would be passive. Well, not passive. Anyway, continue. He said, we have a better kicker than most kickers in the league right now on the roster named Jordan Stout. I know you said he's a punter for a reason, but that reason is mainly because he got to learn from Justin Tucker and Sam Cook at the same time while graduating into Cook's job. But he was qualified to do both, and he was a great kicker. I remember saying back then that he should replace Tuck soon. I seriously believe that Harbaugh holds a higher standard on relationships with his players and coaches over using the superior talent they have on the roster. That part, I do agree with that. That's true. Anyway, he said, I also believe that that's the reason standout talent, specifically wide receivers and tight ends, don't work out in Baltimore. It could be just me, but it seems like year after year, he doesn't know how to use his weapons. He's horrible with timeouts and worse with challenges. Year after year, he can't adjust mid to late game nor mid-season, specifically in divisional games, which always resemble playoff games. He's kind of bland and predictable. Yeah, I believe he may be the reason we're always competitors. Unfortunately, I also think he's the reason we're always coming up just short. He said, okay, I'm done. I know I poured on a lot about Hobbs and Tuck, but again, I lived through Billick and Matt Stover's last years that, to me, lasted way too long. Somebody had to say it. Sometimes some things got to change. Change isn't always bad. Again, the only mainstays from the last Super Bowl, which, again, we almost lost late in the game, are none other than Hobbs and Tucker. Ooh, wow. That's a powerful question right there. Question, statement, all of that. Yeah, I guess statement. He ain't really asked nothing. I ain't really see no question marks in there, but no, that's you said a lot with that. And then you talked about how change ain't always a bad thing, and no, it's not. I still expect the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year. I really do. If for some strange, crazy, wild, unpredicted, unprecedented reason they don't, then I would show Hobbs the door with respect. It would be all love. It would be all respect, but I would show him the door. I would say that's it. That enough is enough because there's no excuses. And again, I know when we talk about that, people are just, if not Hobbs, then who? Just like if not G-Row, then who? Who is gonna be? But again, we said this before. For a head coach to come into the Baltimore Ravens, in order for them to fail, they would really have to be trying to fail. They would really have to like go and then they still wouldn't even be able to fail. Like you would have to just be all out terrible to fail with the Baltimore Ravens. Like you really would. And I'm not even just talking about like not making a Super Bowl. Obviously that would be a failure in my eyes, especially with the teams that the Baltimore Ravens have assembled last year and then this year. But I mean just like not making the playoffs. If a head coach came in here, I feel like it would be just pretty much guaranteed that you're going to make the playoffs at least with the team that you with the quarterback that you have. You got Kyle Hamilton, you got Mark Andrews, likely Derrick Henry, maybe Keaton Mitchell. Just like you got some guys, man. Zay Flowers, Rashad, you got some guys. So with that being said, if they were to get a new head coach, like he would be with a lot of the and then he could add pieces to the roster too. It don't got to stop at all core guys. You could add pieces to the mix too. But you would really have to like to fail with the Baltimore Ravens that we have, the core guys that we got. You would have to be all kinds of terrible. And I don't see that. Like this is if it won't, but if the Baltimore Ravens job came available, oh my goodness, like who wouldn't want that? You ain't got to look for no franchise quarterback. You got a really good team in place. You got a really good team in place. You just make a few adjustments here, well, some major adjustments to how things are done, but you're set. And another job like that, in my opinion, is the Bengals. Well, the Bengals, they're a little trickier, though, because you got your franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow. You would just have to protect him because Joe Burrow, he be getting hurt. But with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, like, they getting ready to be free agents. What are you going to do there? So you got to make that decision. Are you going to pay? Obviously, Jamar Chase is going to get paid. But what about T. Higgins? What are you going to do there? And you know how that defense has been. You got to make a whole lot of changes on defense and additions and whatnot. So I feel like that would be a good position for a head coach to get. But I feel like over there will be more work to turn it around. But with the Ravens, like they like ready right here, right now. So but anyway, back to like so all that. If not Harbaugh, then who? You gonna miss me with all that, man. Again, we love Harbaugh. We Harbaugh cool, but Harbaugh is not the only person that could get the job done for the Ravens. If that ended up happening, which we know that it won't. Next question came from my guy Melo. He said, Team Keep It Clean and Engraven. I hope that everyone is doing well. During this time of the year and during the bye, check on your people, everyone, please. Yes, that is important year round. Check on your people, man, because they need it. He said, so my goal is always to think abstract with my questions rather than complain, provide a solution. For the record, I stand in support of Justin Tucker. I believe, like many have said, it's between his ears. I remember Brady's last year in Tampa when his performance began to decline. We found out later he was going through a divorce, and we're all human. For all we know, Tucker could be going through something, and he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders right now. So I think he needs support, but I also understand he has a job to do as well. So I'll continue to pray for him and the team. And Tuck, I trust. Oh boy, I hope the rumors about JT ain't true. Cause it's anyway. Let's just keep moving on. He said, "I've been thinking about a lot about the Ravens' offensive woes, and I believe I have a solution. So hopefully, an offensive player or coach sees this through their burner account." See, that's what my guy Michael was talking about earlier about the Ravens watching y'all. Anyway, he said, I think in the red zone we should run one formation I've coined the PYP package, pick your poison, which is a shotgun variation with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 1 running back. Lamar has to be under center when we come out of the formation, so it always looks like a run. Should he choose to go 3 steps back and move Henry left or right just before the snap, I'm all for it here and there to mix it up. Okay, I like that. He said the receivers need to be Bateman and Flowers, but they have to be on the same side of the field, which will force the defense to have a safety cheat to their side of the field. If they opt to not provide safety help, make them pay. On the other side of the field, the 2 tight ends will be Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. But again, they have to line up in the receiver position, not on the line. Line up against the tackles. It brings the defenders in the box, which is not what I want. My thought process with this primary red zone formation is it forces the team to not load the box because Derrick Henry and Lamar as running threats are in the backfield, and you have 2 big tight ends on the outside who can block and catch. And if I'm reading this right, it sounds like you got them tight ends on the same side. But again, let me know if I'm wrong. He said, if we can move the ball upfield and get a first down around the 25-yard line and then substitute personnel into this package quickly, I think we can catch a defense slipping or at least make them burn timeouts to match up properly. With more emphasis on creativity with screens, QB running back draw plays, and one wide receiver rub and pick routes and quick throws. He put quick throws in all caps because that's something that we don't see a lot of from the Ravens. a lot of times with Ravens passing game, it's these long, slow developing plays. And that was an issue with Greg Roman as well. But for Ravens need to have more of a quick throws as well, just to incorporate it. He said, if we have more emphasis on all of those, we could score from a multitude of different ways from the I formation, from the one formation. The overall plan with this formation is not to deliver the knockout blow, but a death by 1,000 cuts philosophy every offensive series in the red zone. What are yours and Team Keep It Clean thoughts? So again, my apologies for the long question. No need to apologize, my friend. Ooh, you sound like you need to be up in a booth with Monken. You sound like you need a play sheet. But my thing with the red zone, with the Baltimore Ravens, just because they've been a pretty good team in the red zone this year. I just feel like for a lot of these plays, and we've seen it sometimes this year, like when it's been a 4th and 1, and Ravens, like, what game? Was it the Chargers game or was it I think it was the Chargers game where they went for it on like from their own side of the field, and they got it, but they didn't get cute. I feel like Ravens just don't do all the cute stuff. I understand you're going to throw in some stuff here and there. You're going to mix it up here and there like the Mark Andrews QB sneak plays. But I feel like Ravens, when it comes down to it, they just need not to get too cute. Need not to get too pretty. Like something like this with what you're talking about. Like, hey, it's like, hey, go for it. You don't want to spam it or anything like that, but bring it out for special occasions and whatnot. Try it out. But to where I like how you talked about, you said Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers, they on one side. So the cornerback, the defense, they got to respect those two as wide receivers, and then they could possibly have a safety over top of them as well. You still got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and then I like how you talked about if you want Lamar to be under center, but if you want to drop back, if you want to move Derrick Henry over real quick at the last second, he could do that, try to catch the defense off guard. So, and Lamar has been pretty good at doing that, making those those pre-snap adjustments and catching the defense off guard. He usually when that happens, he goes for the kill shot and then ends up being successful. Like, I'd probably say like 7 out of 10 times. But yeah, if they want to incorporate this, cool. Like, I'm all for creativity, but just for them not to get too cute with it. Next question came from my guy, Alex. He said, hey, how's it going? Hope you and your family are doing great. I'm writing this after the Ravens lost to the Eagles in frustration, so please bear with me as this is going to be an ugly rant. Sashi Brown, Eric DeCosta, and John Harbaugh are sabotaging this team and Lamar Jackson's career. EDC is terrible at drafting and trading and building around Lamar. Deontay Johnson, who? I think he's already in the doghouse, and John Harbaugh is so stubborn to do anything best for this team. Sashi Brown, well, he sent this on December 1st, so this was literally right after the game. So he already knew what time it was. Anyway, he said, Sashi Brown and Steve Bisciotti just let these best friends and neighbors hurt the team rather than help. No sense of urgency, and so far our losses should have been wins. We keep beating ourselves, self-inflicting wounds, and Harbaugh has to stop being a statue and do something while Todd Monken continues to call bad calls. Not all the time, but this game in particular with a struggling offensive line. I'm just so tired and frustrated. We could have easily won this game. How do we start off strong just to fall flat? It felt like the Eagles were trying to give us the game at times, but the outcome felt like deja vu all over again with all of our other losses. I think the season is coming to an end. I hope not, though. And do you think when the season's over, will Bisciotti finally step up to help Lamar by firing the front office and Harbaugh? No, not at all. Again, I keep saying I expect the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, but for if some strange, wild, crazy reason, if they don't, Harbaugh ain't going nowhere. He's not. He ain't going anywhere. EDC ain't going nowhere. Harbaugh ain't going anywhere at all. Anyway, he said, should Lamar Jackson be more vocal in going against the coaches in the front office? I feel so bad for him. He didn't play his best, but why do we still have Justin Tucker and still trust him to make all these kicks? Well, I think that it's crazy because I want to say it's because of the finance, but not even. I think it's past the money because they got Marcus Williams and they ain't playing him, and he's making like $70 million. But with Justin Tucker, it's way deeper than just the money because I think it's the equity that he has in the Baltimore Ravens. Since he's been with the Ravens since 2012, it's all that love and that history. So there's that loyalty, and they like, look, that's our guy. We done been with him through thick and thin. He gonna turn it around. So I think that's what it is. He said our offensive line has been an issue before this season and still an issue as I still see Lamar running for his life. Well, you explained it right there. Like yeah, that's it. He said, fire the front office because it's time for a change. Let's save Lamar's career as a Raven before he wins the Super Bowl with another team when he leaves. Thanks again for everything. Sorry for the rant, but I want to hear your thoughts on everything. Hope you have a great week. Appreciate you, Alex. I really hope Lamar doesn't go anywhere. We want to see him win a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens, which is still my expectation for this year. But I do agree that the Ravens haven't handled Lamar Jackson's career the best. They've just been late. I would say that late with a lot of stuff. They've been late and just haven't, again, it's mainly the offensive line, or actually I would say wide receivers and weapons. That was first and foremost. But then is the offensive line. And I know a lot of teams do that with their offensive line with quarterbacks that can move. They're like, oh no, that quarterback can just make some guys miss. We'll be fine. We ain't got to do all that for the offensive line. Now they are paying Ronnie Stanley, so that is a significant monies on the offensive line. And then Tyler Linderbaum, he's a first round draft pick. So it ain't like they absolutely just haven't done anything on the offensive line. But it could be better. It could certainly be better. Obviously, we've had a conversation for wide receiver for years. Last year was the first year where it was like, oh, okay, well, all right. Well, that ain't too shabby. But why weren't we doing this years ago? We could have been doing this years ago and been doing it better years ago. But yeah, that's why I say the Ravens they've been late with a lot of stuff that they have and have not done for Lamar Jackson. So every year we hope that it does get better. And it has improved significantly, really, over these past couple of years. But they could be even better with it.